Hey you guys, welcome to Leo the Libra. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and get the name portion of everybody involved in the story out of the way right now. There's my friend, we're gonna call her Darla. Then there's a guy who was actually mentioned in my very first storytime video. He was one of the X, Y, and Z boys. He was the guy who was named X, okay? So we're just gonna continue that throughout this video and we're gonna call him X. And it also involves my good friend Leslie, okay? Me, Darla, and Leslie were all like a threesome, okay? We all sat in like a 3-person desk in our 5th grade class. And I must also mention that my 5th grade class and everybody's 5th grade class for the entire 5th grade class was in trailers, okay? So we were off to the side of the playground on the outside of the school, and therefore if you wanted to go inside the school, if you wanted to go to the library, if you wanted to go to the bathroom, you had to have a hallway buddy. Me and Darla had partnered ourselves as partners, like permanent partners for being hallway buddies. There actually wasn't permanent partners for hallway buddies. It was just really like if anybody else had to go at that moment, then they were the ones who went with you. But me and her just kind of decided that we were like gonna be permanent hallway buddies. And that was the year I got my first crush, and he had his first crush on me. It was some real fairy tale shit. Whenever I would walk past his classroom, his trailer, he had a desk right next to the window, and he would always yell out and speak to me, and she would always be right there. Me and Darla got into our very first argument because she started a rumor that my first crush thought that I wasn't cute anymore, and it caused a rift between me and him. We actually stopped liking each other, and I really don't remember exactly how it happened, but somehow I found out that she was the one who started the rumor that he said that I wasn't cute anymore. And so me and her got into an argument, stopped being friends, came back to being friends. But when we came back to being friends, I always knew she's a liar. But I didn't know, you guys. I thought I knew. I did not know. Me, her, and Leslie had been sitting there talking one day. We were talking about guys that we liked in our class. And not in our class, but in our 5th grade class. And I brought up X. I said, hey, I have a crush on X. X was just the type of guy that all the girls liked. You know, every girl liked him. I thought that it was a pretty safe bet. I felt like I wasn't really letting her too much into my business, because now I know I have to watch your ass about letting you into my business. And then as soon as I said that, she just quieted the conversation, shut it the fuck down, and moved on. And I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. I guess we're not talking about this anymore. She shared a room with her sister who had a baby, so we slept on her top bunk of her bunk bed. And at night when the baby would be asleep, we weren't allowed to really be very loud. We didn't want to wake up the baby. We also weren't allowed to hang out in the living room. We would usually just lay in her bed and text each other back and forth. Now, as you guys can pretty much imagine, that when you're in 5th grade, you don't really have a lot of people to be texting, you know what I'm saying? So when it would be about 1 o'clock in the morning, it would just be me and her texting each other back and forth. This weekend was different. She was getting rapid text messages from somebody. I just was like, all right, like, who you talking to? You know, like, what's up? What's up? Like, you texting somebody like a lot, so what's up? And she was like, oh, I'm just talking to X. Skirt, skirt. What? You talking to who? My crush? That's shady. So I'm starting to get a little confused and a little bit worried, honestly, because if you guys remember what it was like when you had a crush in 5th grade, it was like, I'd be really comfortable if you never found out about this right now, you know? So I was very scared because she was a very loud-mouthed bitch, and I was like, I want to make sure that you're not going to tell him that I have a crush on him. So I just kind of was real bold, and I was like, so what you guys talking about? And she was like telling me what they were talking about. They were talking about something, and I said something funny, and she was like, oh, that's so funny. I'm going to tell him you said that. And so she tells him that I said that, and then apparently he responded back with an answer, and she says, oh, he said this. And so I'm sitting there laughing, and I'm just talking back and forth. And really, you guys, I'm giddy. Like, I'm giddy as fuck. I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking to my crush. I'm talking to my crush. After about 2 nights worth of doing the texting each other back and forth thing, and talking to each other back and forth thing through Darla's phone, I said, hey Darla, do you think that it would be possible if I could get X's number from you? And she was like, why do you need his number? And I said, well, you know, I thought that me and him had kind of hit it off. And I mean, I don't want to overstep my line. If you guys have anything going on, then definitely let me know, you know, and I won't cross that boundary. And she was like, no, it's nothing like that. And I said, okay, well, you know, would it be okay if I got his number from you? And she said, okay, cool. I'll give it to you after church. All right, I mean, maybe you don't want to pull your phone out in church. I get it, you know, so whatever. But the day goes on and she never gives me his phone number. Every Monday, Darla would not be at school. So that Monday comes and I'm talking to Leslie. I tell her what happened over the weekend and she immediately was like, she had his number? And I was like, yeah, what the fuck was up with that? And she was like, why didn't she tell us that she had his number? Like, you have to know somebody pretty fucking well for them to give you your number, especially back then. For a guy to give you his phone number, like, dude, he had to really fuck with you. So I was like, yeah, that was kind of weird. But then at the same time, I was like, but she also said that it wasn't like they were in a relationship. So maybe it's nothing, you know. And she was like, so did you ever get his number? And I said, no, I didn't get his number. And she said, you fucked up there. And I was like, yeah, I kind of did. So that weekend I made it my motherfucking business to get his phone number. We were sitting in her bed and we were texting X again, and this time she says, hey, do you want to call him? Hell yeah, I want to call him. Oh my God. I was waiting for you to suggest it. Duh. So I was like, yes, bitch, call him. And she was like, okay, but we can't talk in here. We can't talk in my house, like in this bed in my house. And I was like, so what do you want to do? You want to go in the living room? And she was like, no, let's go outside. Now, completely unrelated funny story that happened that night, you guys. Because we were going to be outside late at night, her uncle was like a police officer and he had a taser. So we said, we're gonna grab the taser to make sure that we stay safe. And while we're outside talking to X on the phone, I actually tased myself. I was using the taser and I was on a mailbox and there was like a little piece of wood hanging off the mailbox, right? And my pyro ass was like, what if I tase it and it catches fire? So I went to tase it, but the thing kept like moving in the wind. So I held the little piece of wood and tried to tase it, but ended up tasing my finger. We talked to him for, no lie, you guys, from about 2-3 o'clock in the morning till the sun came up. Okay, we were talking to each other for a long time. We did this Friday night, we did this Saturday night. Sunday morning I had to go home early and I did not get the chance to get his phone number. We're sitting outside her house texting X. Now, she lived in the last house in a cul-de-sac, and her brothers had a basketball goal at the end of their driveway, and therefore her basketball goal for her brothers or whatever was like the meetup spot for the whole neighborhood. All the neighborhood boys used to come out there like every Saturday and play basketball and all this stuff. So per usual, me and her are sitting on the stoop and we're texting X back and forth, and she gets called out by her brothers, and you know, it's a big thing. And you guys, like the host she was, every fucking Saturday she made it her business to go out there and play basketball. In reality, she couldn't fucking play basketball. She just wanted to go out there and play with the fucking boys in the neighborhood. So I didn't participate. I participated one time, and when I realized that was what the fuck she was trying to do, I was like, y'all ain't finna be looking at me like I'm some sort of little neighborhood hoe who come to visit. No. She gets a text message as soon as she gets up. Now, mind you guys, these are rapid text messages. Every time she texts him, rapid text message, which I almost kind of like was like, dude, like, are you sure y'all are not in a relationship? Because bro be responding like that, like nigga, like that. So as soon as she gets up, she gets a text message, and I was like, hey, X just text you. And she said, look and see what it says. She's like standing a little far off in front of me, and she says, look and see what it says. And I tell her what it says, and she says, okay, I'll text him back as soon as I get back from playing basketball. And so you guys, me being fucking Nancy Drew and shit, I was like, oh, this is my chance to get his number. So I was like, let me just remember his number that I see underneath his name and her phone and shit, right? So I looked at it, I remembered it, and then I went on about my business. That Sunday night, I text the phone number that I had gotten from her phone for X, and then she calls me on the phone. Did that confuse anybody? Are you confused? She calls me on the phone and she's like, hey, what's up? You called me. What's up with you? You know, and she was talking. We have a regular conversation. I go to sleep. I move on. Monday comes. She's not there. I tell Leslie, I said, hey, bitch, I got his fucking phone number. And she was like, what? And I said, yes, bitch. Yes, I got his phone number. Yes. Hey, oh my God, did you text him? And I was like, yeah, I did, but he didn't hit me up. And she said, you know what? He probably don't even text back phone numbers that he don't know. And I said, bitch, yes, that's what it is. I decided I'm going to grow some balls, okay? I'm going to grow some balls and I'm going to talk to this man. So all fucking week, y'all, all week, I have been waiting to see him in the hallway, see him at lunch, see him in between the trailers. I have been waiting. I happened to not be hallway buddies with Darla that day. I guess she didn't need to go to the library or something like that, or it was some major reason why she didn't go with me, because she always was looking for a reason. Like I told y'all, I love to walk the halls and she loved to walk the halls. She didn't come with me that day for whatever reason, and me and Leslie were hallway buddies that day. So I see him standing across the library and I look at Leslie and I said, bitch, I'm about to go talk to his ass. And she was like, girl, I got your back. I'm standing right here. Go ahead. And I said, okay. Okay. So yeah, I walk over there. I was like, hey. And he was like, hi, bitch. And I was like, it's me, it's Bree. And he was like, oh, hi, bitch. You know, like straight up like he didn't know who the fuck that I was. And y'all, I got embarrassed. I remember just saying some stupid shit to just get away from him. And I ran, okay? I am a runner. I am a straight runner. I just ran. I ran out the library. Leslie had to catch up with me. It was bad, y'all. It was so bad. I get back to class and I'm telling Darla, bitch, he just straight fronted on me. Like, what the fuck? Why he front on me like that? You tried to talk to him? And I said, yeah, I tried to talk to him. Why the fuck are you acting so crazy? Like, bitch, we've been talking to him on the phone for like 4 weekends. Like, what you doing? She did not let me come over to her house that weekend. That weekend, I sat at the house by myself, and I was just kind of like, dude, I really still want to talk to this guy. I think that me and him have hit it off. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like this could be my new boo. I go to text his number. Y'all ever had a uh-oh feeling? And I don't mean the uh-oh feeling like somebody about to touch you. I mean the uh-oh feeling like, uh-oh, something just went wrong. Something just went wrong just now. And I'm looking at the phone number and I'm like, something about this number ain't making no sense. So I get to school once again, you know, Monday, Darla's not there. I start talking to Leslie and I tell Leslie, I said, I went to text him and I'm looking at this phone number and something about the phone number is off. I don't know what it is, but something about this phone number is off, Les. And she's like, hold on, let me see the number. And so I show her the number of my phone and she said, hold up. That is a weird number. Yeah, like I feel like I have deja vu, you know, this phone number. And y'all, Leslie was like, bitch, hold up. And she just pulls out her phone, starts going through her phone, and y'all, she just laughs. It was so comical, y'all. Like, she was a dark-skinned girl, but you could tell her face was red. Like, she was laughing that hard. So I start laughing too, because something about watching other people laugh, it just does something to me. It just makes me so happy, and I just started laughing too. Let me find out why the fuck she's laughing. She passes me her phone, and I look at the phone, and it's Darla's contact information, and I was like, what? Like, what the fuck is so funny about this? She said, bitch, look at the number. Y'all, Darla's number was the same number as the number I had for X. If you're confused and you don't know what the fuck just happened, let me break it down to your ass real quick. If you save your very own phone number as another person's name, then that name will be the name that pops up when you get text messages from that phone number. Now you ask yourself, how the fuck I'm gonna get text messages from myself? It's very simple. You text your own phone number. The text message and the outgoing will say whatever you just said. And then the incoming text will say again whatever you just said, right? But if you delete the outgoing text message, it looks like whatever name you saved as your phone number just text you out of nowhere. Now, y'all, I got mad because I was like, bitch, I've been talking to your motherfucking imagination for hours, for 4 weekends in a row. This crazy bitch was so adamant about the fact that she didn't want me to like people. You were willing to talk to yourself, but make it seem like you were talking to my crush in order to make it seem like you had cultivated a real relationship with my crush. As if I was just like not gonna know. You know what I'm saying? And that's why she got all scared when I had walked up to his ass and came to her about it. She was like, why did you do that? I don't think you should have done that. Because y'all don't even really fucking know each other. Seriously swear. If you like this video, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up and hit that little bell thing there so that way you get notifications every time that I post, alright? Always remember, be cool, be cute, and be worth it, okay? I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye. No.